All right, we are live and we got Jay Ryan and Flo Kumle, and Jay Ryan is doing a studio makeover for our YouTube marketing and video marketing series, and we just wanted to do a before and afters to see his beautiful face. Any excuse to see this beaut. But yeah, so we want to see a makeover of his hideous,
Hideous.
older studio setup. Can you tell us why you have those shelves up and the story behind that?
Well, honestly, this was, as I was telling you before, previously the previous owners of this house used this as a walk-in closet, so it's actually not too big, but it is. Shoot, I mean, our kids have said it. You could use this as a bedroom, so it's somewhere between bedroom and walk-in closet. But anyway, I took out all the walk-in closet rails for hanging stuff and all that, and put in the shelving. And this was of course before YouTube existed and video marketing. Our computers couldn't even handle, and the internet couldn't even handle video marketing. But then the revolution happened shortly after getting this office, using this office. And so no one ever saw that, but it was just, that's all my courses, years of, you name it, from one of my favorites of Dan Kennedy to Jay Abraham, to all of it. It's just, there's hundreds of different authors and courses back there. And I just stuck them back there. And now, I normally have the thing you recommended, Flo, the what do you call that thing?
The background, I forgot what you call it. It's kind of
it's spring. It's on a spring, and it's cool. It goes poof, and it's behind me. So normally you could never see any of this. So
right.
The only reason we decided to remove that, and I was asking Flo here, I said, well, maybe I should just clean that all up. We shouldn't have that on video. But for the sake of the fact that I have some foam on the way, acoustic foam like Flo, I decided, you know what, it'll be kind of a fun video makeover video to show. I mean, not video makeover, a fun home office or YouTube makeover to show before and an after.
So we're converting this to a YouTube studio, and obviously we're going to be sharing our expertise, years of making money online before YouTube was even a thing. You were making hundreds of thousands of dollars on the internet, right?
Yeah, I mean, more than hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on the internet since 1995. And I was kind of I felt like one of the, pioneers, as you know, from reading my first course that you bought. But that, I was looking up the gurus when there was no so-called gurus. I was trying to find one, and now look at, they're everywhere. And when I got started, there was 3 guys that were doing it, and that's just all there was.
That's so funny, right? 3
people.
Now there's 30,000.
Yeah, and anybody like myself knew there was only 3, and I quickly made myself the 4th, and just proclaimed myself after doing some studies and making some money. But yeah, I made I started in 1995, and even before the year 2000, I'd already made millions of dollars, because just takes more than 1 million to say millions of dollars. So I had made more than $1 million in the, probably 2-ish mark, by 2000. And so, yeah, I got a long history.
So we're trying to share our knowledge now. Once I bought your course, I've made millions of dollars too. And now we're kind of learning from each other, and you kind of try and say that you're learning from me, but then I say that I first learned from you. So it's kind of like an interesting thing there.
We each have our talents, and I think we both obviously enjoy learning each of our specific skill sets. What was in that movie Taken? What's he say? I
actually have that in a sales.
Yeah, I know.
Video. You saw that? Did I send that to you? Yeah, I have a special skill. Right. So we're going to be talking a lot about video marketing. So what I would like you to do now is we're also going to change our cameras. So right now I'm using a 4K webcam. You're using a regular Logitech HD webcam. And when we clap our hands, we're going to have all new equipment. He's going to have a new background, and everything's going to look lovely.
Yes, because I was actually a little bit embarrassed to be showing this, honestly. And I I don't embarrass that easy, but it was hitting me on the border of embarrassing, and so it's kind of hard to do. But I figured, in the name of showing what a background difference can make, let's do it. What can it hurt? This is just where I used to store all my stuff, and when I'd ship courses, you can see these are sleeves of DVDs and CDs and DVDs I'd grab and stuff them, and I actually used to FedEx those out every day. So this was a fulfillment center and my little office here. And anyway, so that's more the backstory on it. And like you said, when we snap our fingers.
I think you should clap instead. That's going to be better. Like one big clap.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. That's
okay.
It.
But we got to do it officially. Like when we clap, it's going to happen. Like at some point, I'm going to go. And
right, so those first two claps didn't count. So just let me know when you want to do the real one.
Right. At some point, we're going to do a real clap. Yeah. And hopefully it makes for a good video moment to see this pile of my wife. I can't,
And then you could also record yourself in a time lapse, changing everything. So like on another, once you clap, you can hit record on your end, and when you're changing everything, just leave the webcam up. Just don't do it naked.
Yes. Yeah. And we can show you too the other option, like the backdrop that I normally have here that would block all this stuff. We can do some comparisons, because Flo was saying he recommended it like 5 years ago, but he's saying now, no, these, again, I will show it to see what we're talking about, but he's saying, no, now you got to get with the times and have, it's better to have like what you see on his side, a real background. So,
right. So that's what we'll do.
Maybe we'll let the audience too be the judge too. When we do the clap, we can do another clap and then have it go to the screen.
I guess you can clap to the white background first, and then you can clap again to the other one, so that way they can judge.
Yeah, and if people say, I think this such and such is fine, just the plain white or the plain black behind me, because that will save people money. I mean, it is a lot less expensive to put up one of these, what we're talking about.
You have to buy the stand and the reflective disc. They're almost, with those two things, I think that's over $100.
No, I didn't buy a stand though. See, you can't see it, but I have a chain. It's right above my finger, a gold chain I bought at a hardware store, hanging down, and I just had it hanging from the ceiling. So that saves you money. Again, right. On a shoestring, it's fun to do.
Shoestring budget. All right.
Yeah, but now we're evolving, and Flo is kind of coaching me in that area of, it's spend some money on the look, and we'll see if spending money on the look.
Put it this way, there's younger guys and gals out there that are business experts now, and they're 21, 25 years old. They spend money on Lamborghinis and a mansion so that, they can look successful. I mean, you've made and I've made more money than a lot of them, and we don't have Lamborghinis and mansions because we have kids. So
yeah, and it just made me realize that probably the average person watching, like, say this, would probably say, I call BS that you've made millions of dollars even before the year 2000, because why would you be in this little tiny office that looks so crummy? But you'd have to be someone like Flo, who's known me over the years, to know that I'm not a Warren Buffett, but I'm kind of, I think similarly, that I don't spend any money typically on anything that I have to get. So like the house I'm in right now, even though it's a small portion, it's a big house, large, great amount of square footage, and almost an acre of yard. I mean, it's big. So this is the smallest place in the whole house, but it's a place where I can get away from all the noise of the kids and the screaming wives and everything. Did I say wives? No, it's not polygamy, but right. Bottom line is that this, I always live beneath my means. So this part of doing this new thing where we're going to upgrade it is kind of not the normal me. So anyway, I just had to throw that out there, because I know some people, they look at you, like you were talking about, people get the Lamborghinis and the yachts. So some people, they think, and I've had people accuse me of this in the past, there's no way you've made the millions because you don't live that way. It's like, yo, trust me, you can make the millions and save them. Mine are all in real estate. I own multiple houses. Some of the houses worth over $1 million, and they're all at this point rented out by happy renters. And rather than have a bigger office here and have an addition onto this house or something, I put my money into kind of like the Kiyosaki way, the assets that are going to actually make me money. In this case, it actually might by having now Bitcoin.
And that's going to be on our investing channel.
Yes, we'll cover that. But I just had to cover that because I'm going, gosh, if it was me and I'm looking at like this junky background, this guy doesn't have millions. And I'm not saying I have millions, like, per se. I'm saying in properties and assets and what I've made. And as me and it's easy to spend even when you're trying to be frugal. It goes fast when you have, like me, a family of 5.
Money come, money goes. Especially, I don't know how you've done it with 5. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. If I was you with 5, I wouldn't have.
Yeah, with 5 kids.
Have 2, and I'm like, wow, where'd all the money go?
Yeah, like I made millions and I've spent millions, all on kids. Kids are expensive. Me and my wife say if we didn't have kids, we would have the Lamborghinis and everything. I mean, I still could have a Lamborghini. I have enough for that, but I just don't want it. I've actually heard it makes you a target for lawsuit. Anyway, when your neighbor sees you driving that and they're like, "Hey, I think you killed my cat. I thought you ran it over." Like, no, I didn't. We'll see in court.
$1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do the clap, and let's see the new office.
All right, let's take a look at the new office. I don't even know what it looks like, so this is going to be a surprise for me too. There we go.
Perfect. Wow, what an amazing setup you got there.
Wow, look at that. How that just like boom.
I think it
pops
looks
in
better.
there.
I think it looks better. So what do you do to change your setup? What are the pieces of the puzzle here?
Well, differences. We've got the G7. We can put the links, of course, below or something so people can check it out. But we got the Panasonic G7, which you were kind enough to send me, and we got this acoustic foam.
That's the best part, I think, is the acoustic foam.
Yeah, but it is cool. This is a small space I work within, and so you had predicted correct that the lens that you were kind enough to send along with the G7 is it makes it to where I can actually not have to worry about getting the corners of the wall of corners of the room, and so that lens is part of what makes it for a small room, which helps. But for any other user, they don't need to get really hung up with that kind of stuff. Like you said, really, if you just did one thing, and looking back, if I just did one thing, just cleaning up all that junk that was back there and putting that foam up, that was huge, obviously.
Right. So if you didn't change your camera and you basically just use the same camera but change the background with the acoustic foam, then it would definitely look a lot better. Let's take a look at how your old setup didn't look that bad, though. We have a screenshot of it here. Yeah,
this is what I would do there to basically all that junk that you saw originally was still there. It's just you always are the king of the good ideas. You had told me about a kind of a backdrop that was on Amazon that it has a big frame around it, like springy wire frame that's it makes it to where it's always nice and has a good smooth pulls the material tight.
Yes, so I think it's called a reflector thing, background or something.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's like $60, and the junk is all still behind that. But it obviously I like it because I can put text like I did right there over it. Whereas like this background, I haven't tested with text. I don't know how it'll look, but I don't know. What do you think? That it's still
I think you just have to use different color letters. If you use like white, what I found that works when you don't have a solid color background is if you have white with like a black interior. So basically it's like a white border font or any color like that, maybe even neon or white. Red might even work, or bright blue. Those colors work, and it'll still look good.
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't think I'll have to put the white background if I want to use text again?
No, you won't need to, because this will look a lot more professional. So that pro look, and then you put text on the screen, I think that'll still look good. I actually have one you could look at. I don't know where it is though. I think it's on Facebook. Let's see if I can pull it up while you're talking.
that there, well, you have the YouTube thing back up again. Yeah, that there should be noted too that I'm just using a Sony Handycam for like, I got it for like $150 at Best Buy. It was like a clearance thing or something, but I just went down and I saw it was HD, and at that point in time, I mean, as long as you were HD, that was fine. So, and you had said too that focus more on all the accessories like in your background and stuff like that than a camera, which seems like pretty good advice, to put a little more emphasis on what you're going to be shooting. I even have heard that even in famous movie makers like Ron Howard. I was just watching a commercial of his on YouTube, and he was saying always put more into your what you're going to have right. He would say what you're going to have right here. He does, so always put more into what's right there than into your cameras and equipment.
Right, because that's what people are going to pay attention to. Whatever attracts their attention is what they're going to pay attention to, and as long as the story is good, then people will like it.
Yeah, it always made me wonder. I always had this like weird experiment I wanted to do. I was like, what if I could be on the set of one of the most famous movies of all time, and I could just bring like, again, that little Sony Handycam that was $150, and that movie had to be, it could only be produced if it was done with that Handycam. Otherwise you can't make the movie. We're like, how would it turn out? Would it be awful? Always wonder that. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the really low budget blockbusters have been made on low budget cameras. You just have to have a really interesting story, and you have to work with your lighting, obviously, because that's what a lot of people don't think about is the lighting. You have to have your lighting set up. Oh properly.
Yeah, that's another thing. Put up that clip of me again. To get that, I think this is really interesting. The amount of light, which doesn't probably look much brighter than what I've got right now, that I have two really, really bright lights up. They're, I don't know how to describe them, but they're super, super bright. And it would heat up the room and just really super bright in my face. You don't even hardly notice it because a camera that's lower quality like that, that's what you just said. It takes that much light just to get it okay. Whereas this one I'm using right now, the G7 you sent me, I have almost no light. I have like equivalent. I feel like I'm sitting in the dark and there's a night light on, is how it kind of feels. So it captures and sucks up all this light. That's about the only really cool thing, is you don't have to have blasting hot lights in your face. That's probably the coolest thing about this particular camera.
Yeah, I think that's something important to mention. If you do spend more money on camera equipment, it will be easier to make it look good. But then, like I said, for most people that have $500 smartphones, you can, just with one light, you can make your YouTube videos look at least a little bit better than Jay's old videos here.
Yeah, but again, the bottom line too is those old videos, as I said before, had that text on the screen there, made me approximately $100,000 a year just from that niche, just that YouTube, not to mention the other checks that come in from other business ventures that I do. So that to me is huge, and really even before that, I had a background. I remember you even called it, I think you said it was ghetto. I'm pretty sure it was like I was literally hanging letters that you would buy at like a craft store because I didn't know how to put text on the screen. This is kind of funny because 10 years ago, I didn't know how to get, how to do editing and stuff. So on that same backdrop.
Yeah, I had to stop you from doing that.
Yeah, I remember you said that's ghetto. But I just got to say, even though you stopped me and it was ghetto, again, it didn't change my income. The income, that's what's noteworthy, is that even doing those, silly ghetto things that seem like they would just be, ridiculous, the money always seemed to come through. So I think it's where if you want to do something bad enough, it's like anything in life, even if you're not ready for it, but you want it so bad that you can taste it, you're going to make it happen either way.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Testing.
All right, now go ahead. Oh, and clap after you see yourself.
What, do I need to start talking again? Okay. I'll clap.
There you go.
Oh, I shouldn't say clap, though. I should just do it.
Yeah, let's do it over.
Okay. So, here we go. Oh, wait a sec. That was a bad one. Okay. Here we go. And here we go again.
This is so hilarious. We're going to have to put this at the end of the video. How can we get a clap in audio so wrong? Okay.
All right. So here we go. All right. Here we go.
This is how they do those blooper videos, is once you start laughing, it's funny. And there's nothing funny about it.
It's just so simple that...
But you did a big clap too, though. It wasn't like a simple...
Yeah, it just should have been like...
It was, you put your hands wide and then you did it.
Yeah, I was like...
Yeah, now go. You didn't move your head, though. Go ahead.
Oh, I should move my head?
No, you should not. You just moved your head to avoid... So let me know when you're ready. You could say, here we go. You can't just keep clapping. You have to...
Okay. Oh, no. So, all right. And here we go.